Hello, welcome back to Freedom Rocks channel. Here on this channel, we talk about recovery mixed in with the Bible, the Bible verses, how God operates through our life through the addiction point of view. We kind of take the basic 12 steps, lessons, and whatnot, and kind of match it up to the Bible, mix it a little bit. So that's kind of the perspective of this channel here, is kind of a biblical angle in our recovery of life. You can see in the background there, we're under construction. I had a mower shop up here in northern Wisconsin that I decided to shut down, and we were going to turn it into a Christian coffee house. We're going to have just a gathering place where sit and socialize and have light menu food, snacks, pizzas, appetizers, whatnot, and then a couple nights a week have speakers come in, and pastor or counselor or a doctor or health somebody within the health industry. So just a good faith-based, God-centered coffee house. So that's what the construction's going in the back there. So anyway, so today we're going to talk about step one and kind of throw a little God angle on it. Step one in the 12 steps is that we admit that we are powerless over our alcohol and that our lives have become unmanageable. The 12 steps you can put on any addiction: food, gambling, sex, drugs, alcohol, of course, and all that. Anything that takes your focus off of God, takes the focus off of God. In step one, I rewrote it and I put, we admitted we were powerless over our addiction and that our lives had become unmanageable. First, what is an addiction first? An addiction is something that takes, this is kind of, I didn't look any of these words up, but I'm just writing these down for my experience and kind of what my interpretation is. First, what is an addiction? An addiction is something that takes our focus off of God. It's a go-to when we get triggered by our emotions or stress, irritability, or anger. It's just a crutch that we go to. We get upset or whatever, and we go to that, whatever that is. So, what do you go for when you get upset? That's probably your addiction. Anything that you use to cover the disturbance of your spirit. Because we're designed to follow God. We're designed to, accept Him and to live according to the Bible. And His ways are designed for us, in the Bible and in Scripture. So when that gets disturbed through our emotions, we go to something, and that could be, drinking, anything. So, that's our addiction. And sometimes, when that gets strained or even pretty close to being cut off, that's when our life becomes unmanageable. What I'm going to talk about is kind of step one, step two, and step three kind of into one. Step one is admitting that we're powerless over our addiction. Step two is came to believe that a higher power greater than ourselves can restore us to sanity. And step three is made a decision to turn our will and our lives over to the care of God. So this story, this parable or revelation or whatever you want to put on it, kind of brings all three of these together. So I was sitting here, in my shop and starting to write out the step and kind of think it over and how to write it out. And I was looking out into the parking lot here. I got a big window. I'm looking just on the outside of my phone here. And I had a thought of there's cars parked out here in the parking lot. So I kind of was thinking about, in life, in our struggle and our addiction, we're just walking. We're walking along the side of the road. Some days it's super hot and humid. Some days it's, cold and the wind's blowing. Now we're having below zero wind chills outside and it's really cold. That's what it is up in Wisconsin, winter time. Anyway, so you're outside walking, through life, and you're struggling and you're cold and you're hot. And your shoes are wearing out. Your legs are getting weak. And, you're just not getting to where you want to go very fast, or not even getting there, period. So, then someone stops by, and offers you a car. Say, hey, here's a car. You want to, it's yours for free. Do you want it? A lot of us out of just, I don't know, it's really where it comes from, but a lot of us decide to say no right away when we're asked to receive something. It's like, no, I'm good. No matter what it is. I don't know if it's just a built-in thing or whatever, but so, we're walking along, struggling in life, in our addiction, and then this car pulls up, which is God, which is a hand out to us to help us. And we just kind of say, nah, I don't, it's not a Ford, it's not a Chevy, it's not red, it's not white, it's not what I want. So we keep going. And we're like, okay, well, this is starting to suck, So we keep going in our life, and here comes this car again. Somebody comes by and says, here, and that resembles God. That resembles a handout or a helping rope to you, I guess, so to speak. And then, just kind of out of desperation, we accept it. We accept that we have a problem in our life. We accept there's a God out there, and He can restore us to sanity. And if we commit our life to Him, if we get in the car, we can get to places we need to get to. We can be protected, from the elements, like when you're riding in a car. And then once we get in there, once we accept we have a problem, give our will over to Him, we get inside of it, and the controls are different from what we used to have. If we used to drive, our controls, sometimes our controls are, for the windshield wipers on the right side, maybe in our old car they're on the left side. So it takes a while to get the controls down. So like, for an example, in our old life, when we would get triggered by whatever, our emotions or whatever that is, that makes us drink, we would automatically reach for the, windshield wiper on this side. But when you're walking with God and reading the Bible and getting a new life, you might do that once or twice, but we have to remember that instead of grabbing our old way, we have to grab the windshield wiper on the right side and twist it. So there's a new method of controlling ourselves instead of going back to our old habit. And then also too, when you're in the car, when you're riding with God and keeping in touch with Him, reading the Bible, find a church, find a 12-step group to get you going, or find something online to communicate with somebody, or just listen to recovery things that fit where you're at. When we reach out to that, we keep our emotions on an even keel. So when we're in the car and it's 90 degrees and humid outside, we can either sit outside and complain about it, or we can go in the car and turn on the air conditioner, and that'll level our heat down. And vice versa. I mean, if we're outside in the cold, we're in the car, we can turn the heat on, and that brings our anxiety down, and brings our emotions down when we reach out to God, or reach out to a person, or reach out to a group. Uh, it keeps us evenly keeled. Yes, we will have spikes. We will get triggered at times, but the point is do we know where that switch is? Do we know where to reach out to somebody is to keep it at a level sustainable, so it doesn't get out of control, so our addiction doesn't get unmanageable? Um, and then there's also maintenance. Of course, the car's got maintenance. You got tires, you got gas. Um, there's numerous fluids and whatnot. Um, so once you gave up your addiction, um, there's a power higher than yourself, and then you turn your will over and your care over to God. There's also maintenance in there too, as like in a vehicle. Sometimes we, back in the around the AA tables, they call it a dry drunk. People quit drinking for 6 months to a year, but they still have the attitude. They didn't maintain anything. They're still kind of an ass towards people, I guess. Sorry, but they are. Um, and then they still keep the attitude, and they wonder why people are still not talking to them, and they're still not paying their bills, and the collections are coming. Um, and they're like, "Oh, what's going on? I quit drinking." Well, you have to maintain it. It's kind of a self-inflicted circumstance. Just like with the car, once you're with God and commit your life, um, you have to keep an eye on the gas tank. You go to church, or keep in touch with people um, with a good recovery program. Biblically, um, you have to keep that connection to something to keep your car going right. If you don't, I've done this myself, where uh, we tend to take the maintenance to extremes, like when your gas light comes on, or your tires are going bald, and you just like, I'll wait, and all of a sudden, boom, you're on the side of the road with no gas, or you're flat tire, and now you're reaching out to God and say, "What's going on?" Well, yes, He will help you, but it's kind of self-inflicted. So to prevent all these problems, maintain a program, maintain the Word, maintain God, maintain contact with somebody. Um, so um, yeah, so that's what I was thinking on this morning, and I hope this helped you. I hope this put a different perspective on your recovery road. Um, to reach out to God when you get in a pinch. Turn your will and your life over to Him. If you're not into the 12-step program, I mean, that's fine. I'm not pushing that at all. Um, get into a biblical recovery of some kind. Just reach out, do something. A lot of it is pride, to reach out, to get help. Some of it's religious. That's just, church is garbage or whatever. Well, don't go to church. Just start reading the Bible. Start reading like Proverbs, Psalms, the New Testament. Them are easy starters. Them are kind of get your legs, you know, strengthened up, so to speak. Good way to start. Um, start praying how you know how to pray. Um, just reaching out to God and say, "Hey, I'm here." Um, and start that communication, because once you start connecting that way, I can guarantee your life will change. Guarantee it. Um, we will struggle with our addictions at the start of it, but as you make that connection stronger, it will dissolve and it will go away, guaranteed. but we have to. It's all based on God. So I hope this helped you. I hope this was your ride in the car. Um, and I wish you the best of luck, and leave a comment down below or subscribe to my channel, and I can communicate with you. I can answer some questions if you have any. Um, I don't know all the answers. Sometimes we don't really need an answer, we just need to vent. And sometimes the answer comes to us when we're venting and we're telling somebody else our problem, and we're like, oh, wait, sometimes it comes to us that way. Um, but if I can't find the answer, I can direct you in the way, or we can find it out together. So um, subscribe, leave a comment, and I hope this helped you today. And thanks for watching Freedom Rocks. And I'm praying for you, and I just hope you have a great day. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.